What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, in a new report on Murphy's Multiverse, which Charlie Murphy is an industry insider we cover here at the channel who now employs different writers for the story, in an exclusive released literally breaking within the last 10 minutes by writer Edward Rose, under the headline, Exclusive, Disney confirms more upcoming blockbuster films on Premier Access, with solid expose on the back of good old-fashioned research explaining the next evolution for this Premier Access brand that Disney has rolled out, confirming they will be releasing more movies after Mulan on this service and the likelihood that Black Widow could be one of them. We're going to break down the details of this story and provide a link directly below in the description. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including this 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill, as well as our 3rd and final Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So I'm going to be totally upfront about this video in the first place. We're going to go through the particulars of the article, but I'm also going to be willing to say a couple of things that are purely speculative and my opinion, but as someone who's covered the ins and outs of not only the movie industry, but specifically Marvel Studios, what's been going on with Disney every single day for the last 2.5 years, I feel like my opinion may be based on solid evidence. Either way, take it for what you will. Let's dive into this article. Now, if you're not familiar with the Premier Access brand, that's something that Disney just rolled out in order to circumvent the normal release for a blockbuster like Mulan. Obviously, it would be sent to theaters. It can't be sent to theaters right now, so they rolled out this new brand. They could release Mulan video on demand right to your home for $29.99 and explained, quote, once you have Premier Access to Mulan, you can watch the film as many times as you want on any platform where Disney Plus is available. Your access to Mulan will continue as long as you are an active Disney Plus subscriber. Murphy's Multiverse goes on to enunciate that, quote, following the announcement, Disney CEO Bob Chapek described the move as a one-off in the Disney's Q3 FY20 earnings results webcast, explaining that right now they're going to have to take a chance to learn from this and see whether or not Premier Access makes sense. Now, the good old-fashioned research on the part of Murphy's Multiverse comes in that they started reaching out directly to Disney through their online automated chat, which is very personalized, and you can tell there are definitely people on the other end of that line, and got people to confirm that they're going to continue releasing blockbuster films through this video-on-demand Premier Access service. $29.99, yeah, is a lot of money to pay for a film, but you'll continue to have access to it until it's added to the regular Disney Plus platform. This is super interesting considering there's only one other blockbuster that people are very interested right now, which is Black Widow. And this is the part where my little disclaimer about this being my opinion comes into play. There are a ton of questions as to whether or not Black Widow would ever see video on demand, and some trusted industry insiders that we cover here at the channel agree that there's never been any chance of that happening. While I never thought they'd release Mulan or any other blockbuster on video on demand, especially after AMC and Regal Theaters earlier this year basically blackballed Universal for pulling the same move with Trolls. But here we are late in 2020, and Mulan, a huge blockbuster, live-action Mulan, was set to be one of the biggest box offices this year for Disney, is now going to video on demand for $29.99. Now, I want to talk about literally my opinion and speculation on this quickly, because let's face it, guys, a November release for Black Widow in theaters is highly unlikely, especially what's happened with schools recently. And even if theaters are open, and I've said this a couple of times, and they put Black Widow on every single screen in that theater, there's a good chance that the box office take on this film won't be anything close to what it would have been if they released it in May. And even if they are willing to put it in theaters for a couple of weeks, my most likely outlook for this is that it could see a co-theatrical video on demand release where you'd have access to it either way, and this is why. This is going to be what is one of the most important fiscal quarters for Disney and the movie industry coming out of the absolute wreckage of this year. And if they see a way to make the theaters happy by appeasing them with a theatrical release, but to maintain something close to the box office take that they would have had on this film had this whole thing not happened in 2020, Disney has to take this step, and there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, it's Marvel Studios and their flagship brand. Number two, there's been absolute carnage at the box office and their bottom line. Disney as a company reeling, and it's not just their stock, they haven't been able to get anything moving, especially with their theme parks as well. There is something here to be said for money speaking as a bottom line, but also something as your most popular franchise, and it's absolutely no question that Black Widow was set to bring in over $1 billion for Marvel Studios and Disney this year. That's why their marketing campaign and budget, as it was pretty low-key. 2 or 3 trailers and TV spots released almost at midnight. She's a core Avenger, and this is the first film since Avengers Endgame. Let's be real, anybody who has any moderate interest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was going to see this film. If you take the $1 billion loss from this and add it to what would have been from the Eternals box office, and then think about the fact that we're not out of the clouds of dust, so to speak, yet, that no one has any idea when we may see some semblance of normalcy or when box offices or theaters may be packed again. In that case, I think there's no option but to release it now, and at least it's a 50-50 with seeing what happens with Mulan. But guys, if Mulan does well and makes a lot of money for Disney Video on Demand, then I think it's an absolute sure shot that we'll be seeing Black Widow the same way in the coming months, maybe this year or maybe spring of next year, leading into an Eternals release, especially if they'd have to move the slate again. And I'll leave you with that as my final thought. They can't keep pushing these movies back indefinitely, or the slate just gets pushed out so many years and they have a ton of films backlogged to start releasing, especially if they're already back on production. At some point, these have to come out, and if video on demand is the best way for Disney to recoup the money, anything close to what they think they would have made on these films, you better bet they're going to do it. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. If you agree that they should just get these films out video on demand now. And quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 700,000 subscriber mark. A lot of you have asked. Of course, we will switch over to the PlayStation 5 here at the channel once it comes out. But in the meantime, we're sticking with the PlayStation 4 because it may be a while before we see those PlayStation 5s, and we're not going to give them out till we have them in hand. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that automatically enters you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. This will be given away at the 750 $750,000 mark whenever we hit that. If you're not familiar with these kind of collectibles, this is in no way an action figure. At almost 3 feet 30 inches tall, it's a museum quality piece made by XM Studios, which ships internationally here to the United States. We're giving this away at 750,000 subscribers, and during the holiday season at the end of the year in December, we'll be giving away the 3rd and final Infinity Saga box set. We've already given away 2 here at the channel this year. This will be the final one. They were limited in production to 4,000, completely sold out in a couple of days. If you want to get your hands on this Infinity Saga box set, the Beta Ray Bill, either of the PlayStations, or any of the other prizes we give away here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the channel. Leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here, and if you've missed any of the previous winner announcements, no worries. All you have to do is scroll back to the channel, look for the winner announcement and the sub count in the title, click on the video, and scroll to the end. My name is Michael Roman. This is Everything Always, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.